Hello. Hello. Good morning, dear students. Hello. Good morning, dear students. Should we start the class? Hello. क्लास आरंभ हो गया? Hello. Hello. Hello, dear students. Should we start the class? So, in the last class, we have discussed the educational contribution of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, M.K. Gandhi, and Sri Aurobindo. And in the previous video, we have detailed analyzed the life sketch of Mahatma Gandhi and Sri Aurobindo, educational philosophy of both Sri Aurobindo and Mahatma Gandhi, basic education of Mahatma Gandhi, and integral education of Sri Aurobindo. So today we will discuss two educationists who contributed a lot in the field of education of our country. At the outset, we will discuss about Rabindra Tagore. You know, Rabindra Tagore was a great writer, the winner of Nobel Prize for Gitanjali 1913, and he was also a great educationist of our country. He contributed a lot to the Indian freedom struggle. The national anthem, we are chanting proudly, that is the contribution of Rabindranath Tagore, who is also called the Vishwaguru, Rabindranath Tagore. So his most important contribution in the field of education is the abode of learning, that is called your Shanti Nikatan or Vishwa Bharati, which is situated in West Bengal. So let us discuss what is the contribution, how he contributed to the field of education. According to Rabindranath Tagore, education emancipates us from the bondage of dust and it gives us wealth, not of things but of inner light, not of power but of love, making the truth its own and giving expression to it. Try to understand this, the definition given by Rabindranath Tagore. So, what is education exactly? Education is that which brings an individual, a person from the bondage of dust. It brings individual out to it makes an individual the completely free. Education snatch away an individual from the bondage, and it gives the wealth, not only your material resources only or things only, but it provides the inner light. It provides the what your love, making the true its own and giving expression to it. So this definition clearly implies what is the exactly role of education. Let us discuss the educational philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. You know, Rabindranath Tagore, if you discuss his life philosophy, Rabindranath Tagore was an idealist, he was a naturalist, humanist, nationalist, and internationalist. Okay, so let us discuss what are the educational philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. The first and foremost, the educational philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore is freedom to children. He says all children should get ample scope, opportunity, freedom, and liberty. That's why they can explore themselves, they can expose their qualities, latent powers. So he says the students or the children should get freedoms like the birds who can soar in the vast sky. They should not be kept in the captivity. They should not be limited in the particular content and courses. They should be given all type of the freedom. ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନ ଦେବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତା ଦିଆଯିବ ତାଙ୍କର ସୃଜନଶୀଳତାର ବିକାଶ ହେବ। ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଥିବା ଯେଉଁ ଅନ୍ତର୍ନିହିତ ଗୁଣାବଳୀ ଅଛି ସେ ଅନ୍ତର୍ନିହିତ ଗୁଣାବଳୀର ବିକାଶ ହେଇପାରିବ। So being the teachers, our responsibility is to provide freedom. Who knows what is within the child? So to explore that thing particularly, to know the innate potentiality and latent power of the child, they should be given the freedom. This is the first and foremost how a bird soars in the sky, how the bird moves higher and higher according to its own pleasure and wish. Similarly, the children should be given opportunity. Okay, this is the first and foremost educational philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. And next is that opportunities for creative self-expression of children. What I have told you in the previous point, that freedom. If you provide the freedom, if you give the ample scope and opportunity to the children, if you provide the liberty to the children, they can express their creativity. They can express their what we can say the quality within him. ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ ଗୁଣାବଳୀ ଲୁକାୟିତ ହେଇକି ଅଛି, ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରତିଭାଟା ଅଛି, ସେ ପ୍ରତିଭାକୁ ପରିପ୍ରକାଶ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ଆମକୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଦେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। So the teacher should not keep his activities or his actions within the four walls of the classroom by simple his lecture or deliberation. The teacher should provide opportunities where the students can involve directly, when the students can, we can say, explore their potentiality by doing something. So when the students can do something freely, when they will be given the opportunity, when they will be given the scope, when they will be given the liberty. In the we can say by we can say the strict principle, by dominating nature, a child cannot express his what his the innate potentiality. So the first one is freedom should be given. Next is for creative self-expression, to explore, to expose himself. The children should be provided the opportunities. Different activities should be conducted. Number three, very important, your vital point, that is the educational philosophy for Rabindranath Tagore. Active communication between the nature and man. You know, there is the connectivity between the nature and man. ମଣିଷ ଏବଂ ପ୍ରକୃତି ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗଭୀର ସମ୍ପର୍କ ରହିଛି। ପ୍ରକୃତି ବିନା ମଣିଷ ବଞ୍ଚି ପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। Here, nature relate to two things. Nature means your physical nature. Nature means nature of the child also. Would you get my point? Here we have to think about two things. First thing, we should allow the students to play in the nature, to learn in the nature, to sit in the nature, to explore in the nature. Okay, to, we can say, try to understand the beauty of nature, try to understand the secrecy of the nature, try to understand the value of nature. On the other hand, whenever we are taking any kind of the learning activity, whenever we are organizing any kind of the learning task, we should keep in mind the particular what? The nature of the child. What is the nature of this child? What is the potential of this child? What the child intends to know? what is child, what is the need of the child, what is their caliber, what is their standard, what is their we can say everything we should keep in mind. Otherwise, what will happen? It will just like the we can say the specimen in museum. जो म्यूजियम रे स्पेसिमेन अछि आमे सेमति पिला को देखिबा पिला तार विकास कर पारो ना तेणु पिला मान को कोन करिया पड़ो हमको संपूर्ण स्वाधीनता दरकार अछि एवं तार प्रकृति अनुसार already what I have already told you while I was teaching about your Sri Aravinda, he said also consult the mind of this child. This type of the things also. You should think about your nature, think about the nature of the child also. This is another very important point, educational philosophy of Rabindra Tagore. Next is that essential unity of mankind. Education for mankind. Education for universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino, what is telling. So education is not confined for the self of the individual only, for getting bread and butter only. It is for the welfare of the mankind, welfare of you can say the whole universe. So universal brotherhood is also another. Education should inculcate some type of the value. That's why the students or the children can believe on the universal brotherhood. विश्व भातृभाव उपरे तांकर भितर जेमतिका गोटे मनोवृत्ति क्रिएटर तांकर भितर मूल्यबोध विकास दरकार अछि. Next is humanistic approach to education. What I have told you, the humanistic approach of education means that the each and every individual should love the human beings. प्रत्येक व्यक्ति मनुष्य को भल पाइबा दरकार अछि. We all are human beings. Of course, by nature we have the diversity. By nature we have the differentiation, but that should not be, or in the name of the differentiation, in the name of the discrimination, we should not hate one another. Okay, so a humanistic approach should be developed in the mind of the children. And the rational discipline, it means that what is the discipline according to Rabindra Tagore? Discipline means not a strict discipline. The teacher will control all the students, the teacher will do everything, the students are simply passive. So no, self-discipline or social discipline is propagated by Rabindra Tagore. Let me discuss what is the aim of education according to Tagore. Tagore says that the highest education is which does not merely give us the information but makes our life in harmony with all existence. So education doesn't mean the gathering information. Education doesn't mean the by hearting the different contents. Education doesn't mean simply by you are by hearting something, by cramming something, by memorizing some information and vomiting in the examination and getting the good grade and marks. Education is more than that. Education is beyond that, we can say. It makes our life peaceful. It makes our life harmony with all existence. All existence. We can respect to the all means flora, fauna, all human beings, all whatever may be in the universe. We should maintain the balance. This means that he aimed at perfection of man through education. Education makes a man perfect. So perfection of man is the ultimate goal of education according to Rabindra Tagore. One cannot be called educated who by-hearted piles of information. What I was telling, simply by you are by-hearting the piles of information, simply memorizing the complete books or text, we cannot say he is an educated. Education is the perfect process of holistic development of individual. Holistic development. We can say physical, mental, social, moral, economical, everything, emotional, etc. So the holistic development is the prime or aim of education according to Rabindra Tagore. So besides education should be enable man to be world citizen. What I have told you, world citizen. Education should make the individual world. That's why he established the Santiniketan, what is called now the Vishwa Bharati. His intention is to bridge between the east and west. Okay, so it means universal brotherhood should be cultivated in men through education. So the feeling of universal brotherhood should be created. Should be created. The whole world is our family. We all are brothers and sisters. So that type of the feeling should be created in the mind of the student. That should be the prime aim of education according to Rabindra Tagore. So, what Rabindranath Tagore says about the curriculum? If the aim of education is that provide the freedom to the individual, if the aim of education is you are organizing different activities for self-expression, for the development of holistic development of the individual or the children, if there is the main intention is the connectivity between the nature and human beings, okay. If the main goal of education is universal brotherhood, so you can understand better what should be the curriculum. So Rabindranath Tagore says the curriculum should not be bookish, it should not be stereotyped, or it means that to Tagore, efforts should be made to give bookish knowledge less to children. Curriculum should be constructed keeping in view the all-round development of the children. So curriculum should be for all-round development, integrated development, or holistic prosperity of the children. We should keep in mind. So he suggested curricular areas like language, literature, history, geography, science with the different creative and co-curricular activities. You can see whenever you go Santiniketan, you can understand better what co-curricular activities, what extracurricular activities are, what skill-based activities are being done in Vishwabharati or Santiniketan. So he emphasized on the drawing, painting, dramatics, music, art, handicrafts, nature study, vocational and professional courses, etc. It means that as the holistic development is the main intention and goal of Rabindranath Tagore, so he prescribed the curriculum should not be confined within the content areas. It should include the variety of the contents, variety of the activities, variety of the courses, which will be suitable for the nature and ability of the students. So, let us discuss the methods of teaching according to Rabindranath Tagore. What are the methods of teaching? Tagore was totally against the dull, mechanical, and stereotyped methods of teaching, or he was not in favor of the lecture method, or you can say the oral method of the teacher is the only method. He says methods should be suitable for the students. Okay, he was in favor of the imparting education in natural setting. If you go to Santiniketa, you can understand better what is the surrounding there, what is the nature of the classroom learning, what is the nature of we can say the learning in Santiniketa. So education, natural setting, natural environment, how the students can learn in the natural environment, under the tree, under in the we can say the lap of the nature, we can say, okay. ପ୍ରକୃତି କୋଳରେ ପ୍ରାକୃତିକ ରମଣୀୟ ପରିବେଶ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ପିଲାମାନେ କେମିତି ଶିଖିପାରିବେ, ତାପରେ ସେ ରିଏଲ ଲାଇଫ ସିଚୁଏସନ ବାସ୍ତବ ଜୀବନରେ କେମିତି ଜୀବନର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପରିସ୍ଥିତିକୁ ଅନୁଭବ କରିକି ପିଲା କେମିତି ଶିଖିପାରିବେ ସେ ତା ଉପରେ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦେଉଥିଲେ। ଚାରି କାନ୍ଥ ଭିତରେ ଖାଲି ଶିକ୍ଷାଦାନ ବା ଶିକ୍ଷଣ ପ୍ରକ୍ରିୟାକୁ ସେ ଆବଦ୍ଧ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ। ସୋ ହି ସଜେଷ୍ଟେଡ ଦ ମେଥଡ ଲାଇକ ଟିଚିଂ ହ୍ୱାଇଲ ୱାର୍କିଂ। ବୁଲୁଥିବେ, କଥା ହେଉଥିବେ, ଆଲୋଚନା କରୁଥିବେ। ଆମେ ଯଦି ଟିକେ ମହାଭାରତର କଥା ଆଲୋଚନା କରୁଥିବା କୃଷ୍ଣ ଆଉ ଅର୍ଜୁନଙ୍କ ବିଷୟରେ, ଦୁଇ ଜଣ ଯାକ ପୁରା ଏକଦମ ଗୋଟେ ରିଏଲ ଫିଲ୍ଡରେ ବ୍ୟାଟଲ ଫିଲ୍ଡରେ ଠିଆ ହେଇକି ଉଭୟ ଆଲୋଚନା କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କଥୋପକଥନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଆଇ ଥିଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଡାଇଲେକ୍ଟ ମେଥଡ ଇଜ ଦ ବେଷ୍ଟ ମେଥଡ while you are talking with while you are working, or you working, sitting with the students, you are discussing a number of things in a natural environment, in an informal environment. That's why the students can express anything to the teachers. Would you get my point? ଆପଣମାନେ ବି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିବେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଯଦି ଔପଚାରିକ ଭାବରେ କଥା ହେବେ, ପିଲାମାନେ ସବୁ କଥା କହିଦେବେ, ତା ମନର ଭାବ କଥା କହିଦେଇପାରିବେ, ତାଙ୍କର ଅଭାବ କଥା କହିପାରିବେ, ସବୁ କଥା କହିପାରିବେ। ତେଣୁ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରାକୃତିକ ପରିବେଶ ଭିତରେ ଆମକୁ କ'ଣ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ପୁରା ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତାର ସହ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଆମେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଟିଚିଂ ଥ୍ରୋ field visit, study tour and excursion, this is very important thing. Study tour gives the practical knowledge, experiential learning, we can say. ଗୋଟେ କୋଣାର୍କ ମନ୍ଦିର ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିବା। If you go to the Konark Mandir and see the real picture, real temple in Konark, so the students can get the experiential learning, they can get the practical knowledge, or they can be witnessed about what is the really the Konark temple is exactly. So the field trip, field visit, study tour, excursions are the best methods for getting proper learning. Discussion method, what I have discussed also, we should discuss with the students. Interact with the students. So discussion method is also another most important methods. Activity method, what I have told you about in the previous video, I have also told you that whenever we listen something, we forget immediately. Within short time, we forget. When you see something, we can remember something that I have seen that. Whenever we involve, whenever we do something, then we can understand the concept. So activity is the one of the best methods. If the students will involve, the students will do something. What Mahatma Gandhi also said, that is called the craft education. So the students will do and they will learn. କାମ କରିବେ ଏବଂ ଶିଖିବେ। ଯେତେବେଳେ କାମ କରିବେ ପିଲାମାନେ ନିଜେ ମାନେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ଭାବରେ ଅନ୍ତର୍ଭୁକ୍ତ ହେବେ କୌଣସି କାମରେ, ସେତେବେଳେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ରୂପେ ସେ କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବେ ନା ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ଶିଖିପାରିବେ। ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ ଦ ଲର୍ନିଂ ବାଇ ଡୁଇଂ, ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ସେ ଲର୍ନିଂ ବାଇ ଡୁଇଂ। So the students should learn and they should do and learn. Okay. Another thing is that heuristic method, learning by doing method, discussion method. So these are the different methods of teaching you are advocated by Rabindra Tagore. And the next important thing is the discipline. What I have told you, what should be discipline? What should be discipline? Discipline should be self-discipline. The students should understand their role and responsibility. If the children understand that they are the students, their main purpose is to learn from different things, they will be disciplined. By compulsion, by control, by punishment, the students cannot be the discipline. If they will be disciplined, they will be disciplined the overt side, outer side only. So for that, they should be provided freedom. They should understand their responsibility, their duty, so they can be self-discipline or social discipline. So Rabindra Tagore was emphasizing on the self-discipline. The କୁହାଯାଏ ଆତ୍ମ ଅନୁଶାସନ। ଯଦି ଜଣେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ନିଜେ ବୁଝିପାରିବ ଯେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ କ'ଣ ମାନେ ନିଜର ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ କ'ଣ, କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ କ'ଣ, ଆମେ ବି ସମସ୍ତେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ନିଜର କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ ନିଜେ ବୁଝିଯିବା, ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମକୁ କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ମାନେ ଅନୁଶାସନର ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ପଡ଼ିବନି କି ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟର ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ପଡ଼ିବନି। So self-discipline is the most important thing. So these are the educational philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore, educational philosophy, curriculum, methods of teaching, discipline, etc. Let us discuss in short. And what the educational philosophy of your Rabindranath Tagore, that was reflected in his experiment, that is the Shanti Niketan or Vishwa Bharati. ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଶୈକ୍ଷିକ ନୀତି ଥିଲା, ଶୈକ୍ଷିକ ଦର୍ଶନ ଥିଲା, ବା ଯୋଉ ପାଠ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ବିଷୟରେ ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ, ଯୋଉ ମେଥଡ ଅଫ ଟିଚିଂ କଥା ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ, ତାକୁ ସେ ପ୍ରମାଣିତ କରି ଦେଖେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ଗୋଟେ ଶାନ୍ତି ନିକେତନରେ। And you are the Rabindra, you are the Shanti Niketan. The R.N. Tagore planted a sapling in 1901. Small seed was, we can say, planted by Rabindranath Tagore in 1901, and in the name of Shanti Niketan, that is called the abode of peace. Shanti Niketan means abode of peace, with only 10 students, and that small sapling became a well-shaped tree in 1921 in the name of Vishwa Bharati. 1901 ମସିହାରେ ଯୋଉ ଛୋଟିଆ ଚାରାଟି ବା ଛୋଟିଆ ମଞ୍ଜି ସେ ପୋତିଥିଲେ, ସେ ମଞ୍ଜି ଆଜି କଣ ହେଇଛି 1921 ମସିହାରେ ବିଶ୍ୱ ଭାରତୀ ଭାବରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ ଲାଗୁଛି। Located the Bolepur, 160 kilometers from Kolkata, and now Vishwa Bharati is the symbol of his passionate faith in the universal brotherhood. Now Vishwa Bharati is one of the leading universities of our country, and the students from across the world are studying there. And we can say that is the one of the best place for universal brotherhood. You can see two educational institutions in India where you can see we can say the evidence of the universal brotherhood completely. That is your Shanti Niketan, and another is Aravali of Sri Masi Aravinda at Pondicherry. Okay, so what is the main aim of Vishwa Bharati or Shanti Niketan according to Rabindranath Tagore? Why he set off Shanti Niketan or Vishwa Bharati? So some of the points: the propagation of Indian culture. The main intention was everybody, the Eastern and Western people, Indian people and also the world, the global people should know what is the Indian culture exactly. What is the Indian culture? How Indian culture emphasizes on the global welfare, the welfare of mankind. Vasudevam Kutumbakam, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino. This is the Indian culture. Hospitality is the main part of Indian culture. ଆମ ଭାରତୀୟ ସଂସ୍କୃତି କ'ଣ ନା ବିଶ୍ୱ ବନ୍ଧୁତା, ବିଶ୍ୱ ଭାତୃଭାବ, ପୁରା ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ସମାଜକୁ, ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ବିଶ୍ୱକୁ, ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ମାନେ ପଶୁ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ପଶୁ ପକ୍ଷୀ ଠାରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ମନୁଷ୍ୟ ସମାଜ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନିଜର କରିବାର କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ଭାରତୀୟ ସଂସ୍କୃତି. So the main aim of your Vishwa Bharati was propagation of Indian culture and bridge the gap between the cultural difference between East and West. Another most important thing what I have told earlier also, that is the bridge the gap of cultural difference between the East and West. पाश्चात्य और प्राच्य भितर जो टिके गैप अछि ताको मिनिमाइज करबा, to minimize the gap between the Western and Eastern. Cultivation of humanism and nationalism. So humanism, Swajib, this is the need of the hour. Today we have become the self-centric. We are running after the money. We are running after the materialist prosperity only. We think our happiness only. But your Santirikatana Vishwabharati was built by Rabindra Tagore for cultivating, inculcating, or you can say cultivating the humanism and nationalism. ଆମ ଭିତରେ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରୀୟତା ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି, ଆମ ଭିତରେ ମାନବିକ ମୂଲ୍ୟବୋଧ ତିଆରି ହେବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି. ଆମେ ପ୍ରଥମେ ମଣିଷ ସେ କଥା ଅନୁଭବ କରିବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି. Next is that synthesize among physical, mental, moral, social and spiritual education. What I have told you, that education of your your Rabindranath Tagore was what? The main aim of Rabindranath Tagore is holistic development of the individual, all-round development of the individual. What was given stated by also Mahatma Gandhi. So synthesize among the physical, mental, moral, social, and spiritual education. What happens nowadays? We are emphasizing on the only a small part of the mental development only. We can say we are pouring the information in the mind of the students only. But this is not the aim of education of as your Santirikatan. So the main aim of Santirikatan is physical. One should be physically strong, mentally sound, socially well adjusted, morally we can say advanced or more and spiritually mature. Then only you can say one is all rounder. Okay. For example, one is mentally mature or advanced but physically weak, so he cannot do anything. So we have to develop all aspects of human life, all aspects: physical, mental, social, moral, spiritual, okay, emotional, etc. And educate your complete freedom and ample opportunity for self development of the children. Another aim of education should be, we should provide the complete freedom to the children. We should provide ample scope to the children for self development. For self development. Okay. So next aim of education is educating children in learning ambience of Gurukul pattern. What the gurus in Gurukuls were providing the education in the natural surrounding, in the forest, in the dense forest, they were providing the education in the natural surrounding. Okay, so such type of education should be provided. Whenever you get time, should go to Santinikatan, you can understand better what is your Rabindranath Tagore dreamed, and that has been reflected in Santinikatan. In the natural surrounding, by getting ample scope, the students are getting education there. Okay, so to attain these aims of education or the goals of education, Tagore's institution contribute the different departments. There are different departments in Santinikatan. Some of them like Vidya Bhavan, School of Research, Shiksha Bhavan, your college, Kala Bhavan, School of Music and Dancing, Silpa Bhavan, School of Industry, Binay Bhavan, Teachers College, China Bhavan, Hindi Bhavan, Islamic Research Section, etc. So these are the different departments. So many departments are there. I have given some departments. So this is regarding the educational philosophy and educational experiment of Rabindranath Tagore, and he contributed Vishwabharati to India, not only India, to mankind. And he's, we can understand better what is the contribution of Rabindranath Tagore in the field of education. If you have any doubt, you will ask me question and we will discuss in detail after or you can say at the end of the class. Okay. So this is regarding what we have discussed regarding Rabindra Tagore. Now we'll discuss about another educationist, Jiddu Krishnamurty, JK, who is popularly known as JK or who is popularly known as Krishnaji. Okay, and you will get inspiration from his life history. If you get time, you must read J. Krishnamurty. Really inspiring, or you can say inspirational personality. He was born in May 11, 1895 at your Mandapalli of Andhra Pradesh, a small town in Andhra Pradesh. And at early age, he lost his mother. So he could not get the chance of nurturing in the lap of mother from his beginning of his life. Then, fortunately, after the death of his mother, he was brought up by the great, you can say, educationist, freedom fighter, your Ani Besant. He got a chance to to be nurtured by your Madam Ani Besant, and at the age of 16, he authored the book At the Feet of Gurus. At the age of 16 only, he has written a book that is entitled as At the Feet of Gurus, and he knows number many languages like your English, Spanish, French, Italian language, etc. Okay. Besides the Indian languages, he knows also these foreign languages also. He was a great philosopher. He was a scholar, a prolific writer, thinker, okay, and orator. So let us discuss the what are the life philosophy of your J. Krishnamurti. Life philosophy of J. Krishnamurti. What I have told you, you are from the beginning or dawn of his life, he lost his mother. He was brought up by Madam Ani Besant. And let me discuss the major philosophy, life philosophy of uh, J. Krishnamurti. He says, knowledge is nothing but the realization of oneself. What is knowledge? Knowledge is not confined the books only. Knowledge is not cramming the information only. Knowledge is not you are remembering many more things and delivering the, or you can say the even in different conferences or the meetings or seminars and symposia. So knowledge is nothing but realization of one's own self. Self-realization, what Shankaracharya says. What is education? Realization of self. You should realize yourself, who you are, what is your potentiality, what is your caliber, what can contribute to the society, what cannot you do, okay, your strength, your weakness, okay, your purpose of life. That is what is called real knowledge. ନିଜକୁ ଚିହ୍ନିବା, ନିଜକୁ ଜାଣିବା, ନିଜର ବାସ୍ତବତାକୁ ବୁଝିବା, ନିଜେ କାହିଁକି ସଂସାରକୁ ଆସିଛି ତା ବିଷୟରେ ବୁଝିବା. That is the real knowledge. ତାକୁ କୁହାଯିବ ପ୍ରକୃତ ଜ୍ଞାନ. Knowledge can be achieved through the continuous search of the truth. First thing is that what he said, what is knowledge? That is know about yourself. Okay? Know a realization of one's own self. And how can you know that things? How can you acquire the knowledge? That can be achieved through the continuous efforts, search for truth. If you do efforts, endeavors, if you repeatedly, constantly trying and searching the truth, then you can get the knowledge. So, if an individual is continuously, rigorously, without any break, if one is searching for truth, so one can knowledge, one can get the knowledge, and one can understand, and one can get the reality of the life. What is the life exactly one can know when he continuously searching for the truth. ସତ୍ୟର ଅନୁସନ୍ଧାନ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଗତି କରିବା, ସତ୍ୟ କଥା ଆମେ ଯଦି ବାରମ୍ବାର ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବା ଏବଂ ତା ପଛରେ ବଢ଼ିବା, ପ୍ରୟାସ କରିବା, ପ୍ରଯତ୍ନ କରିବା, ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଜୀବନର ମୂଲ୍ୟ ବୁଝିପାରିବା ଏବଂ ଜୀବନର ବାସ୍ତବତା ବୁଝିପାରିବା. This is the life philosophy of J. Krishnamurti. It can be attained through the one's own efforts only. First thing is that knowledge. What is the knowledge? Second thing is how can you get the knowledge? And third thing is that what is the ways and means of getting knowledge? Or we can reach at the, or how can you search the truth? You can search the truth through your own efforts, your own endeavors, your own attempts. ନିଜ ପ୍ରୟାସରେ ହିଁ ଆମେ ସତ୍ୟର ଅନୁସନ୍ଧାନ କରିପାରିବା ଏବଂ ସତ୍ୟର ଅନୁସନ୍ଧାନ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ଆମେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆହରଣ କରିପାରିବା. So through efforts we can search the truth, and by searching the truth we can reach the knowledge. What is the real knowledge? That is what is called the realization of one's own self. This is the reality. Okay. Search for truth is possible after getting complete freedom. And other things. So, for example, how can you do the efforts? How can you do the efforts? You can do the efforts when you are giving if you are given the opportunity, if you are given the freedom, if you are given the liberty, if you are given the chances. So one can do efforts or endeavors if he is given the offer. Very systematically said. Okay, so search for truth is possible after getting complete freedom. And if you get the complete freedom, what will happen? Your creativity will be explored, your creativity can be fostered. Okay, next life principle is that creativity means internal realization which is possible through freedom. So freedom your gives birth to creativity. Okay, so freedom is the mother of you can say nurturing the creativity. Okay, so if you give the freedom, your creativity will be developed. To unfold the mental ability, priority should be given to the concentration. Another life lesson we said to unfold the mental ability. What is within? To unpack the our mental capacities. Okay. So what the proverb said? Unfoldment is what is an unfoldment of what is unfolded in the gem according to education. According to proverb, what is education? Now unfoldment of what is unfolded in the gem. अर्थात जहाँ हम भीतर अच्छी ताको हम केमिति बाहर बाहर कर पाइबा ना that is that through the freedom. So another thing he said unfoldment of mental ability. आमर जो मानसिक शक्ति अच्छी सामर्थ्य अच्छी ताको आमे किपरि भाबरे बाहर को आनि पर लोकल आनि परिबा through the concentration, freedom and concentration. For example, you have given the all time the freedom, you have the no concentration, freedom cannot be utilized properly. ଯଦି ଆମେ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତା ଦେଇଦେବା ପିଲା ହୁଏତ ଅଟୋକ୍ରେଟ୍ ବି ହେଇଯାଇପାରେ କିନ୍ତୁ that need the concentration. We have to explore, we have to utilize the freedom properly. ଆମେ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତାକୁ ସଠିକ ରୂପରେ ବିନିଯୋଗ କରିବା ଦରକାର ନଚେତ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତା ସ୍ୱେଚ୍ଛାଚାରିତା ହେଇଯିବ ଅଟୋକ୍ରେସି ହେଇଯିବ ସେଟା. Okay, so to unfold mental ability priority should be given to concentration. And another thing that human beings are the world citizens. He also said universal brother human beings are world citizens. We are the world citizens. Of course we are the citizen of Odisha, we are the citizen of India, no problem at all. We should have the nationality, but we should also think that we are the human beings and we should try to be universal citizens. Universal citizens. So human beings are the world citizens, so no discrimination can separate them. So no discrimination can separate them. We all are all global, we are the members of the global family. Okay, nobody will become teachers to anybody. Very important point that here is that nobody will become teachers to anybody and nobody is the student to anybody. What Vivekananda also said, education is the manifestation of divine perfection already exists in man. Don't think that you will be the teacher in the future. Don't think that because of my students become the first class. No, because of course you have contributed a lot, you facilitated a lot, you helped, but because of you only the students could not cannot become the first class. Because of his innate potentiality, because of his efforts also he become the what the first class or whatever it may be. Could you get my point? So he says nobody will become the teacher to anybody or nobody is the students of anybody. So we learn from each other. That is called what is called reciprocal. Reciprocation. Students learn from this teacher and teacher learn from the students. And next is he says man is an intellectual being. Man is a rational being. Man is an intellectual being. Okay. So these are the life philosophy of J. Krishnamurty. So you can inspire very much. If you are apply these things in your day-to-day life, you can understand better what education exactly. Education, dear friends, education not getting marks, not getting BA degree, not getting the degree and diploma. Education is the realization of self. Education is the acquisition of knowledge. Education is the construction of the knowledge. Education means the concentration. Education means the universal brotherhood. Education means sarve bhavantu sukhina. At first, you know yourself, then you know the world. That is the motto of education according to G. Krishnamurty. Let us discuss the educational philosophy of G. Krishnamurty. You know better what you if you understood better regarding his life philosophy, you can guess better what may be the education according to J. Krishnamurty. ଯଦି ଆପଣମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜୀବନ ଦର୍ଶନ ବୁଝି ଯାଇଥିବେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣମାନେ ଜାଣିପାରିଥିବେ ଯେ ତାଙ୍କର ଶିକ୍ଷା ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା କେତେ ଥିବ। So educational philosophy of J. Krishnamurty. To J. Krishnamurty, education of two types. Education with the teacher, that is essential for fulfilling the biological needs. Education with the self-support. Two type of education. Contribution of teacher for getting the we can say the biological needs, for satisfying biological needs. But the most important that education with self-support, developing intellectual ability that can be done through the what by ourselves only, by our efforts, by our endeavors for searching the truth, by our concentration. With our concentration, we can develop more. So, education is of two types. Education, what one gets from the teachers, what the sources of inspiration, okay, and another thing is also self-support and self-efforts, okay. So, to him, education is the process of making one intellectual being. It means that in education makes a man an intellectual being. An intellectual being. Okay. So this is also another educational philosophy of J. Krishnamurti. He says intelligence means the capacity of individual to think freely without any your that is you are not free without any fear and restriction, but it is not happening nowadays. He says what is intelligence exactly? Capacity of individual to think freely without fear, without and favor, without restriction. That is intelligence. But now what happens? That is not happening nowadays. What we are doing here, that we are not thinking about the capacity building of the individuals. We are what have been prescribed to us, what content has been given. We are simply cramming, memorizing, and writing the examination, getting grade. Then we get this job, and as we are searching for the bread and butter. After that, we are trying to you are fulfill our only what material prosperity, material things. Then we think that is the only life. No, exactly not. That is not only the life exactly. So another thing is that at present the students are trained to be replica of their teachers, thinking and attitudes. So what he criticized the present system of education. We think to be the, like the teacher. No, by nature we are different from one another. One should develop in his own way. We cannot be the replica of our teachers. We cannot be the we can say photocopy of the others. So we should develop in our own way. Okay, we should know our strength, we should know our weakness, then only we can develop better. Otherwise, we will be the pressure or we will be the burden of the society and burden of the family, etc. So they are brought up in the opinion of their parents, relatives, and traditions. So this is he criticized that. Now what happens? The children are brought up. The children are strictly guided. Or controlled guidance we are providing to the children to develop according to the parents, according to the relatives, according to the traditions. You can see also the students also. If you ask your students that what is your aim of life, so someone says I want to be doctor. Why you are interested with the doctor? No, my friend said, my father said, my parents said, my relatives said. No, it should not be. He criticized that's why. He said that's why. So when they are brought up in the opinion of the parents, relatives and tradition, they loses their free thinking. So allow them. Yes, you can guide. You provide the guidance. You provide the counseling. But the students will be let the students are allowed to think about themselves. They know your strength and weakness. They know your ability, and according to their capacity and potentiality, they should be guided. They should select their goal of life. Could you get my point? So, but we are not doing so. ମନେକର ମୁଁ ଆଇଏସ୍ ହେଇପାରିଲି ମୋ ପୁଅ କହିବି ତୁ ଆଇଏସ୍ ହବୁ ମୁଁ ଆଇଏସ୍ ହେଇପାରିଲି ଏ ପ୍ରକାର ଭାବନା ଆମ ଭିତରେ ତିଆରି ହେଉଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ପିଲାଟା ଆଇଏସ୍ ହେବାର ଶକ୍ତି ଅଛି କି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି ପିଲା ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ ଶକ୍ତି ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ କହୁଥିଲି ସଚିନ ତେନ୍ଦୁଲକର ଯଦି ଆଇଏସ୍ ହେବା ପାଇଁ କୁହାଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା ସଚିନ ତେନ୍ଦୁଲକର କେବେ ବି ଆଇଏସ୍ ହେଇପାରିଥାନ୍ତେ ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା ତାଙ୍କୁ କ୍ରିକେଟ ଖେଳିବା ପାଇଁ ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେଲେ ବୋଲି ଆଜି ସିଏ ଲିଟିଲ ମାଷ୍ଟର ହେଇଗଲେ ଏବଂ ଗଡ ଅଫ କ୍ରିକେଟ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅଲସୋ ଭାରତ ରତ୍ନ ସଚିନ ତେନ୍ଦୁଲକର Why? because his father and brother guided him by identifying his potentiality, the ability, kinesthetic ability, that is called the kinesthetic learning, your intelligence. That's why he is now the master blaster of, or we can say the god of cricket. Would you get my point? So he criticized this thing. Ample opportunity should be given to the children to think freely of their own. They should be provided the opportunity. They should be provided the freedom. They should be given the chances so they can think freely about their own. Okay. No predetermined moral standards should be imposed on children. So we should not provide any predetermined, prefixed, okay, the moral standard to the children. The students will learn themselves what is good and what is bad. Okay. All activity of children should be keenly observed. But he said that yes, we should provide the freedom. We should give them the opportunity to the children. But side by side, we should mentor them. We should monitor them. Their activities should be keenly observed. If they commit mistake, if they are doing any kind of the we can say activities which are we can say not in favor of the society, not favor of himself particularly, we should be guided properly. We should guide properly. Okay. ଆମକୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ପୁରା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭେସନ ରଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଭୁଲଟିକୁ ଆମକୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସ୍ୱାଧୀନତା ଦେବା ଦରକାର ଅଛି. Okay. So all activity of children should be keenly observed. Change should come from within because you are the seed of this change. So he says change will take place. Change should come within because you are the seed of the self with the seed of this change. So you cannot change through your no, you cannot change one because of your only your you can say the speech etc etc. One can change if he wants to change. ଯଦି ସେ ନିଜେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ତାହେଲେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେବ, ଆପଣ ଚାହିଁଲେ ଏବଂ ଚାହିଁଲେ ହେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ. He says noisy child becomes silent when he does something. So sometimes we feel irritated that students are doing disturbances. Why they are committing disturbances? Because our activities cannot satisfy them. That's why they are doing disturbances. Try to understand. You will be a teacher in future. ବୁଝିଲା? ତ ପିଲାମାନେ କାହିଁକି disturbance କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମକୁ? यार कारण होची ସେମାନେ ଆମ ଉପରେ satisfied ହୁଅନ୍ତି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ହଉଛନ୍ତି. So when they will be involved in an activity, they will be given the task according to their interest and attitude or according to their potentiality. They will never do any kind of noise and disturbances. He says so noisy child becomes silent when he does something. ତାଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି କିଛି କାମରେ ଆମେ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ କରେଇ ଦେଇପାରିବା ତାହେଲେ କ'ଣ ହବ, ସେମାନେ ନଏଜ୍ କରିବେ ନାହିଁ. Education should strive for inner peace and hence bliss. So education for bliss, education for inner peace. जो आत्म संतोष होची शिक्षार मूल लक्ष्य. हमको जब we have to get satisfaction. काली गोटे जन सहित कथा होतली, से बड़ ऑफिसर किंतु satisfied no because job satisfaction नाही, pressure. So if there is no job satisfaction, if there is no self satisfaction, I think that is not a good job. Okay. So learning according to nature and psychological base of the child. According to Krishnamurty, what should be the learning? Learning should be the nature of the child. Learning should be the psychological basis of the child. We should think the child. We should know and try to understand the psychological basis of the child. What are the psychological basis? Their interest, their attitude, their intelligence, their, could you get my point? So their mental health. We should keep in mind these things. Okay. Let me discuss in short what are the aim of education recommended by J. Krishnamurty. Preparation of life to think freely. Educational aim should be extended with social context for changing society. First thing that education for self. Education self means you have to provide the opportunity to the child for thinking. Okay. Next thing that for the society also. Educational aim should be extended with the social context for the changing society. Education for developing the mental capacity. Education aims at holistic growth of personality of the child. So these are the four important aim of education recommended by J. Krishnamurty, and he was not in favor of the so-called or you can say the fixed methods of teaching or the stereotyped methods of teaching or traditional methods of teaching. He says the stereotyped traditional method is not appropriate for the children's learning. Better learning is possible through own observation of the child, and he focuses on learning in free and affectionate environment. He says affectionate environment, conventional learning environment can only provide good education, and good learning in the children. So the children should be provided the freedom. They should be given the chance for observation. They should be involved in different activities. So then only the learning can be possible. So traditional method or the stereotyped methods are not suitable for the development of the holistic development of the children. School, according to J. Krishnamurty, what should be nature of the school? To J. Krishnamurty, school is a place of learning. Try to understand. School is the place of learning. It is the abode of cultivating good minds, certain amount of discipline, but it should provide freedom for thinking. So, what should be the school? School should be the place of learning. That is the abode of learning. That is the temple of learning, where the students will learn. And it should cultivate good minds, good culture, good mind. Of course, there should be certain discipline. Certain discipline is necessary, but it should not be, the students should not feel that this school is just like the jail. School is not jail. School should, there should be the discipline, there should be the rules and regulations, there should be control to the students, but at side by side the students should get the opportunity, they should get freedom for thinking about themselves, they should think about the nature, think about the world, etc. So opportunity should be given to the children. And regarding the your the student teacher relationship, he says what should be the relationship between the student and teacher. What should be the relationship with the what should be the relationship between the students and teacher? किभଳି संपर्क रहବା दरकार अछि से कहउछथि the teacher is not a machine of knowledge. He should not impose anything, rather motivate and facilitate for independent learning. This is very important point for you. In future, you will be the teacher, so try to understand your school is the place of learning, and the teacher is not the machine of knowledge. The teacher should not think that I know everything. The students should simply listen me, and I am the only the source of knowledge. No, the teacher should keep in mind that he is not a machine of knowledge, and he should not impose anything on the students. Rather, it is the role and responsibility of the teacher to motivate the students, to facilitate the students for independent learning and independent thinking. And so far the discipline is concerned, Jiddu Krishnamurti says self-discipline is the best discipline in comparison to strict and rigid discipline. So dear students, regarding this is about your R.N. Tagore and his educational philosophy, and J. Krishnamurti and his educational philosophy. If you have any doubt, if you have any confusion, please ask me. किछि प्रश्न थिले पचारंतु आमे नेक्स्ट क्लास टा करबा वेस्टर्न फिलोसफी पर नेक्स्ट क्लास टा नेक्स्ट वीडियो विल बी आइडियलिज्म नेचुरलिज्म एंड pragmatism. Any question please? ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିବ ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ, ନହେଲେ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସରେ ବି ପଚାରି ପାରିବେ. ହଁ, ଆଉଥରେ ତାକୁ ଭଲ ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ, ଭଲରେ ଏଇଟା ତ ଅଛି ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ହେଇକି ଅଛି, ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ. ଯଦି କିଛି ସଜେସନ୍ ଦେବାର ଅଛି ଦେଇପାରିବେ, କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ନାହିଁ. ଓକେ, ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ୟାର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କ'ଣ ହବ, ଯୋଉ ବିଡ୍ କଥା ପଚାରୁଛି, ଯଦି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପଚରାଯିବ ଏଠି ରବୀନ୍ଦ୍ରନାଥ ଟାଗୋରଙ୍କ ଦିଟା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିବ. ଡିସ୍କସ୍ ଦି ଏଜୁକେସନାଲ ଫିଲୋସଫି ଅଫ୍ Rabindra Tagore. Out ଆସିବ briefly explain about ଶାନ୍ତିନିକେତନ ବିଶ୍ୱଭାରତୀ ଅଫ୍ Rabindra Tagore. ଏଇଟା ବି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିବ. ସେମିତି J. Krishnamurtiଙ୍କର ବି ଆସିବ. Briefly explain the contribution of J. Krishnamurti on education, or explain the educational philosophy of J. Krishnamurti. Okay, educational philosophy ଆସିଲେ ତାଙ୍କର educational philosophy ସହିତ curriculum, aims of education, curriculum, methods of teaching, discipline. ଏତିକି ଲେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଭୁଲିବେନି, ଯେମିତି ଲେଖିବେ. ଓକେ, ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ କେବଳ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଉପରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିଦେବି, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ. କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିଲେ ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ, କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିବା. ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, କିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ନାହିଁ. ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସରେ जो सेकेंड सेशन अच्छी क्षेत्र में देखा वेस्टर्न philosophy of education, that is idealism, naturalism and pragmatism. Okay. Okay. बंद कर दे, स्टॉप कर दे।